Y'all, here is Moon and her baby chicks. These are the ones that hatched out in the barn. And Moonspot here takes very good care of them. And so we're good with her taking them kind of all over the farm. They've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, and she's managed to keep them all safe so far, and the rest of the flock is helping protect them as well. And so they are going around looking for bugs. She is teaching these chicks how to chicken. And Lady, of course, is over there getting a closer look. What is that, Lady? What is that thing? Huh? Oh. I don't know who was more scared just then. If it was the chick or if it was the lady. But these chicks are doing really well with Moon. It's difficult to show these chicks and to give them names and get to loving on them and everything for a few different reasons, and I want to just be upfront with you about it. I know it's right at the beginning of the video and it's they're so cute and all that, but let's be real. Chicks have a high mortality rate. Now these seem to be very healthy. They all come from good stock. We really only have good stock here at Head Family Farm, and so they are hardy, and like I said, they look to be doing very healthy. They're doing very well, and Moonspot's a great mama taking care of them. But us letting them roam around means that we are giving more opportunity for something to happen, and let me tell you why we do that. We feel like it is important for these birds to have the highest quality life that they can possibly have. And one way that we do that is by giving them space to do their own thing whenever possible. And so that's what we're doing with this group of chicks, for better or for worse. I'm sorry if you're not into that sort of thing, if you'd rather us have them cooped up tight all the time. That's just not our MO right now. We want these chicks and all of our chickens to be as happy and healthy as possible, and we feel like the best way for them to do that is by being free to roam within reason. They do get locked up at night, and they are locked up with their mother away from the rest of the flock, and so they are protected at night, and they're not in with any of the other big birds at night. And so I think they're going to do well. They seem to be doing well so far, and we're really enjoying having them around and watching them peck around and learn how to be chickens. Hey, sweetheart, did you pick a pretty zinnia? Yeah, what color is that zinnia?
It's a dark pink.
Dark pink. Look, y'all, look how bright this zinnia is. Eleanor just picked. Does it smell good?
It smells like a daisy.
It smells like a daisy? Uh-huh. Well, y'all check that out. I love zinnias. We have all different kinds of zinnias growing right now. Eleanor, you want to go over there and show us?
So these grew from last year. We don't know how they came back up. This dad mowed around here, popped the seeds up.
Yep. I told them earlier this week in a video about how these were all volunteer zinnias that came up from reseeding. So we've got a bunch of different kinds of zinnias mixed in here. A lot of them are the Bennery Giants that we really like. And They are so pretty, and I put a link to those in the description of the video we did earlier this week, the Benry Giant Mix from Haas Tools, and I'll do that again with this one. But I love these flowers, and they're so easy, and here in our area in Alabama, we can grow these things almost year round. There's really only about a 2-month span where zinnias don't grow around here. They may not grow as well when it's a little bit cooler, but we don't get down in temperatures low enough to where the zinnias can't grow except for about 2 months here in central Alabama. Oh my goodness. Here they come. And there they go. They've been hanging out in the zinnias the last few days, haven't they, Eleanor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yesterday they were digging in and they found their way into our zinnias.
So here's my question for you, Eleanor. When the chicks get into the zinnia patch right here, do you think that they're eating zinnia seeds or do you think that they're eating bugs?
Bugs.
Bugs? You don't think they're eating the flower seeds that are falling? I mean, I think you're probably right, but maybe it's both. Oh, look at this one, Eleanor. Look how really bright and pink that one is. Holy cow. Yeah.
It's the same.
I think they're actually the same plant right there. Coming off of those two buds.
But this one's a little lighter. See, I'm not saying that this one could be the same flower as this. They're all the same flower. They're all zinnias.
Yep, they're all zinnias. They're all the same type of flower. That's right.
Can we go in and show them? Let me go in.
Well, I mean, I already showed them how we messed up over there and how Daddy put the weed barrier down, how we didn't get around to it. You want me to stay over here? Okay, I'll stay right here. We'll look at these pretty flowers. Look at that peach color right there. Is that what y'all would call that, peach color? Let me know in the comments. But I love how it's got that lime color in the middle and then it goes out to orange and there's some pink highlights in it and everything. I'm a sucker for zinnias. What can I say? Eleanor, what you looking at over there? Eleanor says she's looking at pretty zinnias and pretty chickens. Oh, look at that one. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, we're coming.
I got my pretty flowers.
You picked a pretty flower?
Red.
It's red.
Plus,
Yeah, look at those. That whole bush over there of pink is blooming. Show that to us.
right here. Also, there was a green spider. If you can find it.
What is it, baby girl?
This is a hidden content I just found, and you guys need to find
What
it.
did you find?
A green spider.
A green
That
spider?
And if you can find it, tell us in the comments below.
Eleanor's got this whole YouTube, Facebook thing figured out, don't you, Eleanor?
And if you can spot it.
If you couldn't hear her, she said there's a green spider somewhere on this plant, and if you spot it, tell us in the comments below.
This is true. I did see one.
I believe you.
Wow. See all those little things?
Yeah, you want us to get in tight and look? She's looking at those dots, and I don't really know what causes those dots, and I know that it's like disease or pest or something, but y'all, it's pretty. You don't.
Makes them beautiful.
I know, it adds diversity, doesn't it?
Look at this one.
Yes.
I love that one too.
Uh-huh.
I just got named my flower.
Oh yeah, I love those. Oh my goodness. Look how pretty.
Can you set my flowers down?
Wow.
Remind me that they're there. I'm gonna pick this one real quick. Ow.
Oh, did you get bit by a bug?
No.
Oh, you hit that weed right there. Oh yeah, pick one of those really good ones. Are you picking a bouquet for mommy?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I got one.
Oh, Lady's coming to join us. Lady, you gonna find some pretty flowers? Oh, look, Eleanor. Here's some that are very yellow. Yellow is Eleanor's favorite color.
This is my favorite too.
That's your favorite flower?
Yes, look, it's purple.
Let me get in tight on it. I'm gonna get in real close so they can see. Cause I really, you know, I don't
think the bugs like these.
You don't?
There's no spots on them. I think I might be right.
Yeah.
They're not.
Now I am, maybe it's because I'm a big Alabama fan, but I am not a big fan of oranges typically. But y'all, I love the oranges that we get from these zinnias. We're not gonna call it burnt orange like that other school in Alabama, and we're not gonna call it whatever kind of orange those folks down at Texas are gonna call it this week when they meet up with Alabama. And we're sure not calling it whatever that puke inside of a pumpkin orange is they have in Tennessee. Sorry, y'all. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I love these oranges that we've gotten in these zinnias. They're beautiful.
Dad, I have another comment below one.
Oh, she's got a... Okay, y'all. Eleanor's got another thing she wants to ask y'all to look and say something.
If you spot a spider on that flower, should be easy.
Okay, if you spot a spider,
don't get close.
let Eleanor know in the comments below that you found a spider. Is that what you wanted us to say? Yeah?
That is true. I just saw one. I can still see it.
Yeah?
So I hope people saw it. I believe people did.
Eleanor, can you answer a question for me?
Yes?
What's your favorite thing that we grew in the garden this year?
That is hard. I love a lot. I know one.
You know
The
what?
okra.
The okra? And it's still growing. Oh, y'all, look. Eleanor picked some and lined them up. And look how pretty they are.
I'm trying to remember where they are. I'm putting them there because I had no.
That's so pretty, Eleanor.
Oh, look at that flower. We don't have one of those yet.
Oh, yeah, y'all. She wants you to see this one. It's different. It's probably doing that because it hasn't rained in the last few days.
I got another.
But it's pretty. Show it to us. Oh, okay.
They're
I'll come down
sister
here.
flowers.
They're sister flowers. Oh my goodness, they're so pretty.
I'm just gonna keep putting flowers.
There's that. We got Jacqueline a bunch of variations of red zinnias.
There they are again. There it is.
Yeah. And so there are some really pure reds in here. But those pure reds, for one reason or another, just don't stick around after cross-pollination very well. And most of these were cross-pollinated, I think. Oh man, look at that one. Wow. Looks like it's got little stars in it. Eleanor, come here. Come look at this one, sweetheart.
What?
I said this one looks like it's got little stars in it. Isn't that pretty?
Look. Let me see.
What do you think about that?
Right there?
Yeah.
All of them have little stars.
Yeah.
This one does too. I'm gonna pick this one. I don't have that one.
Woo! You get it?
Yeah, I got it.
You got the whole bush there.
Yeah. I want to stick this one right here.
Y'all, please excuse the cars that are making background noise.
Yeah, we have a lot of people driving on the road.
Well, it's that time of day. It's kind of, folks are going home from work and
People coming home from school,
people coming home from school, that's right.
like I just did.
Yeah, like you just did. Oh, there's another really pretty one. Y'all are gonna be tired of hearing me
I just love
say
the
pretty.
nature.
pretty and beautiful, and
Dad.
the random bad stuff I say about other college football teams. I'm only joking with him, Eleanor.
Well, I gotta tell you something.
Okay, tell me something.
Don't you love the sound of nature?
Oh my goodness. Did y'all hear that? Eleanor just said, don't you just love the sound of nature? And I do. And it's sad and ironic that as we talk about this, the cars get louder again.
Yep.
I'm probably going to wind up going back to the same flowers over and over again to show y'all. But I keep seeing really pretty ones that stick out to me. But this is a good example of variation. There's so much variation just on this one plant here in terms of size of bloom and that sort of thing. And once again, seeing that white stuff on there, it's like spots on the leaves. If you happen to know what that is, let us know. We'll check the comments, and I mean, we check comments anyways, but we'll definitely be on the lookout for anybody that wants to help us figure out what's going on with these zinnias. Goodness gracious. Okay, I really like this one. Have I talked about this one yet? Goodness. It's just magical. What you got going on over here, Eleanor?
I'm lining the flowers right here.
Oh, okay, you're still lining them up. Oh my goodness. This flower line just keeps getting prettier and prettier.
Can I count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 flowers.
So, Eleanor, you said that so far this year, the okra has been your favorite thing we got in the garden.
Yeah, I think the next one is going to be sweet corn.
Sweet corn? Okay, yeah. Eleanor has been really excited.
Have buggies.
We've been talking about maybe planting some corn.
It's a bug.
Yeah, I've got a spider web on me. So Eleanor's been excited about corn. I just don't know if we're going to get around to that or not. But what else did we plant that has sweet in the name that's doing really well out there?
Potatoes.
What is it?
Sweet potatoes.
What is it? Turn around and tell us.
Potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. Yeah, the sweet potatoes are looking good. I'm really excited about that.
Describe one. It's over here.
Oh, okay.
If you spot a white moth, tell us in the describe below.
Okay, so Eleanor wants y'all to look at this area over here, and if you see a white bug, let her know that you saw it in the comments.
Looks like a T, okay?
It looks like a T, okay.
It's like a
So-
uppercase T.
Eleanor, do you like sweet potatoes?
Yes, but only if they are sweet enough and they're orange.
Okay, so you only really like them, so maybe high sugar content, but also, what do you like to put on your sweet potatoes to make them sweet?
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows. We love marshmallows around our house, don't we?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like a marshmallow constant everywhere.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Telltale.
So we got sweet potatoes out there. Can you remember anything else that we're planting this fall?
I know.
What?
More Brussels sprouts.
Yes! Are you excited to try Brussels sprouts that we grew here?
No.
No?
I don't like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, Eleanor's not the biggest fan of Brussels sprouts yet. Yet. Let's say that, okay? You're gonna try them, aren't you?
Yes, but only if you make them like I want them.
Only if we make them like you want them.
Don't fry them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited about the Brussels sprouts this year. I don't know about y'all, but I like Brussels sprouts when they're just a little bit like crispy. Like you cook them in a pan and crisp them up just a little bit, just the edges. Oh, I love it. And when they're cooked in like teriyaki sauce and soy sauce, ooh, I don't know if there's a better way to do Brussels sprouts. I know, I can think of a couple of people that are gonna be on me about saying that's the way to eat Brussels sprouts. I can already think about the comments and the folks that'll stop me at church and tell me they've got a recipe that I need to try. And hey, I'm always glad to try a new recipe. So we're excited about all the good stuff that's going to be in the fall garden. But as you can tell, we're loving these flowers around us. Like I told you earlier in the week, we love all the stuff that that just happens to come up. All these flowers were volunteers. Last year we had a bunch of volunteer tomatoes that turned out pretty well. And oh my goodness, y'all would not believe the amount of volunteer pumpkins we had last year. The whole hillside back there over by where the burn pile used to be was covered up in these beautiful pumpkins. They were the kind that start out kind of flat and green, and then they turn kind of pinkish, orangish, peach color. And who knows, there may have been some crossover there to make those traits happen, but oh, they were so pretty and very vigorous. We had dozens of those things grow, and they were all volunteers. We didn't fertilize them. All we did was cut the grass around them to try and give them a chance of growing a little bit more each week, and they did really well, and it was a lot of fun. And to go out there and pick them, and to go out there and see how they were doing all throughout the summer and fall, it was really cool. So that's something that we will always remember, that first year of volunteer pumpkins. Because we tried to grow a bunch of pumpkins the year before, and it just didn't work out real well for us. But the volunteer pumpkins were phenomenal.
See, like the only one.
Yeah,
That I wanted
that's
to
very
add.
pretty. So here is what Eleanor came up with, picking flowers for us this afternoon. We're gonna
There's 10 now.
get these together. She says there's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, ma'am. Great job counting them. So we are gonna take these inside and put them in a little bud vase, so they will be ready for Mama when she gets home. Does that sound good, Eleanor?
These look like
Yeah.
shells.
Yeah. Well, alrighty, farm friends. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. We hope you had a good time picking flowers with us and getting a little update on the chicks and Moonspot. And we hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for being here, and y'all have a great week.